Here I have a track I'm calling F sharp squared. As you might guess, it is indeed in the key of F sharp, to be specific, F sharp minor. I would categorize it as a trance tune, perhaps house. More broadly, we could call it some type of electronic dance music. It's in your face, it's very loud, very compressed, and it works nicely as one of the themes in my music game on a planet engrossed in loud, almost obnoxious dance music. We can listen to a bit of it now. Very raw, but that's the type of sound that I'm going for with this tune. We just heard the end of the introduction and the beginning of the A section. I try to keep my process relatively organized, and as we can see up top, we have the melody, accompaniment, and harmony nicely grouped together. Below that, we have the drums, divided up by their function. Kicks here, snares and claps below them, along with some tuned hi-hats, and below that we have some louder hats in a loop I've named syncopation. I've separated them from the rest of the drum tracks so that I can better control the groove to make sudden or gradual shifts in the rhythm later. The bottom tracks are all automations, controlling things like frequency, pitch, and volume. These are high and low pass filters, and this controls a limiter, which is going to be in charge of sidechaining kick drums away from the bass line and parts of the harmony. I can achieve some very cool effects using automation, like this pitch bend during the end of a phrase in our melody. We can hear the melody scoop downwards as the pitch bends down a few steps. The mixer allows me to control the levels of different parts of the tune. I can also automate these sliders to mimic how an engineer might introduce new sections in a recording studio. Finer detail can be achieved by adding effects and filters from this menu, like reverb. I'm able to replicate the acoustics of many environments, such as concert halls, small rooms, or even hallways. EQing a track is very important, and digital audio workstations often give you options as to how to approach it. Some of it can be done after a track has been bounced on the mastering level, but oftentimes I prefer to EQ specific parts of a track beforehand to achieve very particular sounds. I'm able to create any type of shape in order to get the frequencies I desire out of a synthesizer. The last thing I want to talk about is MIDI. It's very useful being able to substitute various instruments in for a bass line or melody to find the best fit. For instance, if something sounds off to me, I'm able to experiment with the sound while preserving the notes. Likewise, I can experiment with the melody freely without having to worry about mistakes. If I find a wrong note, I can always go back and fix it later without having to re-record anything.